welcome to the Let's Think About It podcast, where we embark on a journey of thoughtfulness and personal growth. I'm your host, Coach Mo, and I'm here to guide you through thought-provoking discussions that will inspire you to unlock your full potential. In each episode, we'll explore a wide range of topics from self-discovery and mindfulness to goal setting and achieving success. Together, we'll challenge conventional thinking and dive deep into the realms of possibility. Whether you're looking to find clarity in your personal or professional life or seeking strategies to overcome obstacles, this podcast is your go-to source for insightful conversations and practical advice. So find a comfortable spot, chill, and let's embark on this journey of self-improvement together. Remember, the power of transformation lies within you, and together we'll uncover the tools and insights you need to make it happen. So let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of the Let's Think About It podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo, and I'm here with another amazing guest. Her name is Rhonda Britton. Rhonda, what's up?
Hey, Coach Mo, I'm here. I'm fully ready. I want to get the world fearless. I want to make everybody realize their true potential and live the life their soul intended. So let's do this.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear.
Yes.
What part of the country are you in?
I live in Los Angeles, California. We've just been through fires. We had mudslides. And I pray to the Lord Jesus we don't have an earthquake. But all these predictions, like all these people are going, you're supposed to be a big earthquake. And I'm like, please, Lord, no, not today. Not today.
How's the family doing?
Yep. Some people, I know people that have lost their homes, that lost everything. And I actually was out with them the other night and they're renting a house in another area of town. And I said, well, are you going to go back? Are you going to build? They're like, no, we're going to not go there ever again. I was like, I think a lot of people are going to be leaving. I think there's going to be a substantial amount of people that will leave LA because of this, because it's too much to rebuild. It's too exhausting. It's too heartbreaking. But then other people will come in and take their place. And in 20 years, it'll be back. It'll take it 2 decades, probably.
That's unfortunate. But on a positive note, I have you here ready to rock and roll.
That's right. I'm here.
So tell us who you are, what you do, and the type of value you bring.
Oh, come on. Do you not know my value already? I don't have to tell you that. Come on now. All right. So who am I? Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to tell you my credentials because I know that's what most people want to hear. That I was the first life coach on TV in the world. I have 600 episodes under my belt. I won an Emmy. I've written 4 best-selling books. My number 1 bestseller was Fearless Living, sold over 150,000 copies, translated into 16 languages. And I founded the Fearless Living Institute, which certifies coaches and, of course, also trains people on how to master their own fear. So I have a class called Fearless Living Transformation Program and other programs. So my number 1 goal is to support people in understanding how fear works so they can then master it. Underneath that, I've got a secret mission going on that if you really listen closely, you'll hear. But the secret mission is helping people understand how they respond to the world, to their human reality, and how do they access their spiritual truth?
Wow. So I want to take a step back. You help people overcome fear, look at it from that mind frame. How did you get there to develop that for yourself first?
Oh, let me tell you about the worst day of my life, because that's where it all started, right? I believe that the worst days of our lives have the seed of our destiny in it. So I was 14 years old. I grew up in a little tiny town in Upper Michigan, 365 inches of snow a year. And we had 2 restaurants, the fancy Douglas House Buffet and the Big Boy. No McDonald's. That was an hour and a half away. We didn't have any fast food, any fancy things like that. And my parents had recently separated. It was Father's Day, and my father was coming to take us out to Sunday brunch. So my mom's in her bedroom. She's putting on her blue eyeshadow, puffing up her blue beehive hairdo, and my sisters are in the bathroom fighting it out. I have 2 sisters, 1 bathroom. And my father walks in the back door. Come on, because that's what dads do. And me and my mom start walking out. It starts raining. My dad realizes he needs to get his coat from the car. He opens the trunk to grab his coat, tan Naugahyde leisure suit coat. And as he opens the trunk, I see out of the corner of my eye that he has not grabbed a coat, but he has grabbed a gun. And he starts yelling at my mother, "You made me do this. You made me do this." And he fires. And now I start screaming, "Stop, Dad. What are you doing, Dad? Stop." And he turns the gun, cocks it again, points it at me. And I absolutely believe I'm next. He blinks. And then my mother, with her literal last breath, screams out, no, don't. And my father, realizing my mother is still alive, takes that bullet intended for me and shoots my mother a second time. And that second bullet goes through my mother's abdomen, out her back, lands in the car horn, and all I hear for the next 20 minutes is, Then my father cocks the gun one more time, puts the gun to his head and fires. So in a matter of 2 minutes, I was a sole witness of watching my father murder my mother and commit suicide in front of me. I blamed myself because I didn't do anything to stop him. I didn't kick him in the shins. I didn't grab the gun. I didn't jump in front of my mother. I did nothing. I just screamed, "Stop, Dad, stop." That's all I did. When you watch your mother die and you don't save her, you don't get to be happy ever again. That's just off the table. And that day I split into two, the outside Rhonda and the inside Rhonda. The outside Rhonda, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. No, I'm good. Fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine, fine, fine. And I don't think I'm the only person alive that split into two when they were growing up. So I split into two. And the inside of me that felt guilty, ashamed, blamed myself, just tons of self-betrayal, beating myself up to the 100th degree. And so I went to college, started drinking, became an alcoholic, got 3 DUIs, 3 suicide attempts. And it was that third suicide attempt that I realized something, Coach Mo, that I'm not very good at killing myself. I'm not skilled at it because I wanted to die. When I didn't die, I said to myself, what am I alive for? And why am I here? Now, during those years of alcoholism, DUIs, and suicide attempts, I was going to therapy. I was going to workshops. I read books. I did everything you're supposed to do to help you heal. And I had a lot of information in my head, right? We all got that information, a lot of tools and information. But I still felt in the middle of the night that there was something fundamentally wrong with me. Now, when you try to kill yourself 3 times, they do put you in a psychiatric ward for evaluation. I went, got evaluated. They deemed me not crazy. Went back to my home, little tiny apartment, lived by myself. And I said to myself, I've tried all these things to help me, and none of it got me over this feeling of not being good enough. Like there's something broken about me. I'll never be able to recover. So I said, I have to start over because I'm not dying. So I got to figure this out. So I said, what do kindergartners do? They get gold stars and a calendar. So I actually went to the store, got gold stars, got a calendar. And for the next 30 days, I put a gold star on that calendar for anything that I did at all good, anything that I had hope for, that I could think that I had worth to stay alive. And this was things like I got mad and didn't break anything. That's the level I was at. And at the end of 30 days, I had a calendar filled with gold stars. And that gave me the hope. I didn't know what it was yet. I didn't know what was going to transpire in the next few years, but I just knew that there was a purpose for me. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that I had to keep going and keep growing and keep figuring this out, because I had to be ready when it appeared.
That's amazing. You are an amazing person. You said the gold stars, right?
Yeah.
When you went through that process, and let's just say you got to day 30, the end of the month, and you see this calendar of gold stars that you've created.
Yeah.
What did that do for your mindset?
I was so proud of myself. And it also let me know that I could change. I could change because I only gave myself gold stars for anything that I did good, anything that I made an effort at, any willingness to change, right? So at the end of those 30 days, it was like a proof to myself, because that's one of the things that I know, Coach Mo, is people do not keep track of the things that they do well, the changes they make. They don't really keep a good track of that. What they do keep track of is all the ways they don't, all the ways they fail. They have those at an instant, right? But ask me the last time you took a risk. Tell me the last time you actually made an effort. You weren't successful, but you made the effort. Because in fearless living, I don't care if you have a new thought that lasts 1 second. Wow, yay, you had a new thought for 1 second. Okay, it disappeared, but that's okay. You'll get it back. You'll get a better one back, and that will last for 5 seconds. And pretty soon it's going to be 3 minutes. And pretty soon it's going to be the way you say. So I'm a big believer in movement forward. I don't care if it's a second. I don't care if it's a minute. I don't care if you do it once and you give up. That's okay. You did it once, because that is how we build up our momentum and how we build up our belief in ourselves that, yes, I am capable of change. I am capable of making different choices.
But let me go here with you, because those are all very great points.
Yes.
Let's look at the habit of the space that you were in when you were drinking, trying to kill yourself, and things like that. Those are not the killing part, but let's just say the alcoholism. That's an easy habit to adopt, because in your mindset, in our mindset, drinking helps cure the pain that you might be feeling, right?
That's right.
And it easily becomes a habit and just becomes autopilot, the thing to do, right?
That's right. I drank to drink. Yeah.
Had that. And then you had, like you said, the last suicide attempt, and then you went through the STAR process, right? That actually created a habit too, right? Of tracking that. So now you had this old habit of the way you've been, and now you're trying to adopt this new habit. Hey, did you have the urge to go back to the older habits, or how did you propel forward to avoid going back to the old habit?
You're asking really great questions. I love these questions. You bring up something so vital because when we do start a new habit, a new way of behaving, it is seductive to go backwards, right? It is seductive. And it's seductive because many of your friends and family, even though they might not have liked that habit, they knew you in that habit. And now you're doing this other habit. I don't know if they like you too much because now you're talking up and now you're saying things and now you're changing your mind and now you're making choice and now you feel empowered. That's not exactly easy to deal with because now I can't control you. I can't manipulate you. I can't get you to people please. So that's one of the big reasons people don't change their lives is because they don't know how to handle the people around them. They want to change, but they don't have the communication skills. They don't have the skill. They don't have the courage. They don't have the words. They don't have the ability yet to know, wait, what's mine and what's theirs? They're too enmeshed, so they can't escape that. And a friend of mine, God bless him, I was at work and I was cocktail waitressing in a restaurant, cocktail waitressing. And he said to me, Rhonda, you're going to be really successful one day, but you're going to lose it all. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, because when you drink, it only gets worse. The habit gets worse. And I was like, that's not going to happen to me because we're all in denial, right? That's not going to happen to me. So I made a bet with him. I said, I'm going to prove to you I'm not an alcoholic, right? Because I'm so arrogant, right? I'm going to prove to you I'm not an alcoholic. And so I told him that I was only going to have one drink a day, right? Now, again, that also tells you I'm an alcoholic because I don't say no drinks a day. I say one drink a day. right. I will have one drink a day and I will prove because if I can have one drink a day, then don't have a drinking problem, right? Well, and he's like, okay. So I start the one drink a day. The alcohol, having one drink a day was easy. I could do that because I wasn't like physically addicted to the alcohol in any big way. But what it made me finally quit was the realization that my whole day was occupied with when I was going to have this one drink. Was it going to be at lunch, brunch? Was it going to be at happy hour? Was it going to be at dinner? Was it going to be after dinner? Was it going to be when I went to bed? Literally, my whole day was spent trying to come up with the optimal time. And you and I both know that when you are so obsessed with trying to keep something in play, you know you have a problem. So that's what made me realize that I had to quit drinking. So about 30 days, because I told him I'd do it for 30 days. 30 days, I went, oh, I am an alcoholic because I can't quit thinking about it. So that gave me the courage to quit. Now, I'm the type of person that I go, like most people, you make a new habit, and you go back and forth, right? You do it, you don't do it, you do it, you don't do it, you do it, you don't do it. You kind of go back and forth. Well, there has to be a moment, and this is true for me, that there has to be a moment that you decide something. You decide who you're going to be. You're going to decide on your identity. You're going to decide at how you want to talk about yourself now and in the future. And I remember saying to myself, I'm never going to drink again, even though I wanted to drink. Every part of me wanted to drink. I knew that every bad choice I ever made was based on drinking. And I knew every time I got in trouble with a man, one of my boyfriends, it was because of drinking. So that gave me the courage to quit. And when I quit, there were only a few times in the first 3 months that I thought about it in any real way. My same friend who kept pointing out that I might have a drinking problem, I was at work again with him, and the manager wouldn't give me a day off that I wanted. And so I go to the bar next door and I am really mad. How dare she? And my friend Bill, this guy, he'd made me promise that before I have a drink, I'll call him. So I already was at the bar and ordered a B-52 shot because I was going to have that B-52 because I was so upset. And so I call him and I say, I got B-52 here. I said I'd call you. So here I'm calling you. Okay. And he goes, okay, Rhonda, I got to tell you one thing. I'm going to ask you one thing. If you have that drink, that means our boss is in charge of your life. And I went, excuse me? What'd you say? He goes, if you have that drink, she's controlling you. Oh,
that's
that
powerful.
just pissed me off some more. But I did not have that drink. And I think about that because now I don't think about it at all. But the first year, you're thinking about it, obviously. And every time I thought about drinking, I thought, if I have that drink, that situation, that person, that mood, whatever it was that made me think about drinking, I said, then that's running my life. And I decided I'm never, ever going to let anything else run my life.
Okay. So that concept of you're not going to let anything control me, how did that play into your fears moving forward?
That's a really good question because back then I didn't even know I had fear. I was in complete denial. And this is where I come up with my list. Even then I was giving up drinking. Even when I was 14, 15, 16 after my parents died, I would have never said I'm scared. Not one time. Those words don't come out of my mouth. I am not afraid. If you would have asked me if I'm afraid, I would have looked at you like, what are you talking about? I'm not afraid. So I had no concept of how afraid I was because I had no relationship to the words I'm afraid or I'm scared. None. So I walked around the world thinking I had no fear. I really did. And I think a lot of people are like me. People say to me all the time, I'm not afraid. I'm like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Here, let me give you a quiz. And so then I pull out my good old Fearless Living book, read this lovely list to them, and I'm going to read it to you right now.
Okay.
And if whoever's listening to us right now, if you can close your eyes, please do, and nod your head. If you can't close your eyes because you're driving, please don't. And then as I read this list of words, nod your head if you do any of these things or feel any of these things. So, do you ever deny yourself? Do you ever pretend everything's okay when it's not? Do you ever hide out? Do you ever whine? Do you ever settle? Do you ever compare? Do you ever manipulate secretly? Do you ever get defensive? Do you ever judge? Do you ever complain? Do you ever procrastinate? Do you ever worry? What about struggle and blame? Do you ever wait and call it patient? What about deflecting or trying to control? Do you ever feel bitter? What about powerless? What about dissatisfied or resentful or entitled? What about guilty or disappointment? Are you ever perfectionist, people pleaser? Do you feel indifferent? Do you get irritated like now, me reading this list of words? Do you ever feel ignored, betrayed, overwhelmed, annoyed, victimized? Yeah, pretty much. So when I talk to a room, whether it's 1,000 or 10 people, most people, I would say 99% of the room pretty much has almost all of them. And these words people think are their character flaws. Oh, I wish I wasn't a people pleaser. Oh my God, I have to quit comparing. Oh my God, I have to quit judging. I'm so horrible. Oh my God, I got to quit doing that. We judge ourselves based on these behaviors, these feelings we have, these actions. And really what they are, Coach Mo, is their fear responses. They're just signals that fear is on patrol, right? So when you try to control, you're afraid. When you're procrastinating, there's a fear. When you're people pleasing, there's a fear, right? So people do character assassinations. They say, oh, I wish I could not quit doing these things. What's wrong with me? Instead of, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you at all. It's fear. And once you can see it, yeah, that's right.
That they're on autopilot, that they don't even realize it.
That's right. And that's why I created the Wheel of Fear and the Wheel of Freedom, Coach Mo. That's why I created the tools to help suss that baby out, get it out of hiding so you could see it plain as day. So you can see your fear, you know what it looks like, you know what it sounds like, you know the label on it, because we all have a specific fear. And we go through the Wheel of Fear, we map your fear, basically chart your fear. And then from now on, when you're seeing those fear responses, you go, oh, okay, wait a minute. I'm not a bad person. I'm not weak. I'm not stupid. I'm not selfish, right? Wait a minute. My fear's on patrol. Okay. Why does fear go on patrol? Because you're doing different. Fear doesn't bug you when you're on the couch eating Doritos.
Exactly. And I try to walk the talk.
Hard.
And because I carry fears too.
Fear is part of our neurobiology.
Exactly.
I'm getting rid of it.
But here's how I learned to navigate that. Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I embrace it. Yeah. I'm afraid. I'm not feeling really comfortable about going into this meeting, or I'm about to go speak on this engagement. I'm feeling like crazy nervous.
Yeah.
I acknowledge, I'm nervous right now, but I'm going to kick some ass.
Yeah, that's right.
You just step in it and then it just disappears and then you're back to your normal self. That's
a hard leap. For many people, not understanding how fear works and seeing the process to do what you're saying, you're spot on. It's too big of a leap. I don't got that in me. I don't got it in me. So when you see your Wheel of Fear and the 4 components and that it's a mechanism and you see how it operates, then that gives you the courage and the fortitude to then do what you're talking about, because now you see how it operates. And more importantly, you know what's coming if you don't, because there's a path. If you don't get off that Wheel of Fear, you're going to see what's coming. See what's coming. You're like, holy crapola, I don't want that to come. So then that gives you the courage and the fortitude and the understanding to actually take the risks that you're dying to take in your life. And then more importantly, not only the Wheel of Fear, but you also have a Wheel of Freedom. So the Wheel of Freedom is what you're going to access in order to help you get off the Wheel of Fear. Now you've come up with your own way of doing it, which is awesome. And then for many people, they just aren't able to do that because they need more context. They need more understanding. They need more hard data, so to speak.
Let me ask you this. How do you help people incorporate more gratitude to help offset everything that you were talking about around fear? How is gratitude incorporated?
Gratitude is a proactive behavior. So on the Wheel of Freedom, so we have the Wheel of Fear and there's fear responses, which are what I read to you. And we each have a core fear that gets ignited and gives us permission to do these fear responses, because those fear responses are being done to avoid this core negative feeling over here, because we don't want to feel this feeling. We don't want to feel bad. We don't want to feel worthless. We don't want to feel that feeling. So we think, if I just do this, if I just people please, if I just procrastinate, I won't have to feel that feeling. But now we know, oh crap, I'm going to feel the feeling if I do any of these fear responses. Now you're going to go to your wheel of freedom. Now the wheel of freedom has, just like the core fear, it has what I call essential nature. That part of you that got cut off a long time ago because it wasn't safe. Now you have that in the areas where you're fearless, but we're talking about the areas that you're not too fearless. So you have something called essential nature. And in order to access your essential nature, you have things called proactive behaviors. And those proactive behaviors are basically the wind beneath our wings, right? They're the things that help us trust ourselves, believe in ourselves, keep us moving forward on our wheel of freedom. And one of those is gratitudes. Another one is acknowledgements, right? Another one is intention statements. Another one is deep breathing. And we all have, many of us have 5 or 10 the same, but then many of us have other things that are very unique to us. So that's why the wheels are very different. And you might have a different essential nature than I would. And you might have a different core fear than I do.
That's great. And so I like that because it's specific to the individual, right?
That's right.
And
Personalized.
And they're attaching their meaning to the wheel. And from there, that's where the growth happens.
It's unique. It's personal. It's about you. And you fill in the wheel. Now we work together, whether it's in class or through my book or however, to come up with your core fear and to come up with your essential nature. Because those things are very well hidden, like you said earlier, right? Those things are just automatic, hidden. We want to bring them out to the light so they no longer trick us. So I've created a series of exercises to put people through so that they can discover what that fear is, uncover it, right? Through a series of exercises. And the same thing with essential nature. This thing you hid away a long time ago because it wasn't safe to express that. And when you start feeling the wholeness of who you are, things that used to be hard become very easy because you have all of you.
What was the click for you when you decided that I need to help people in the world learn what I've learned for myself?
Are you ready for a woo-woo story, Coach Mo?
Yeah.
Do you like woo-woo stories? Because this is woo.
Okay.
Because I would have never done this, never in a million years. I owned a little PR company, worked with solo entrepreneurs way in the day. And one of my clients was one of the very first life coaches. And he would always say to me, Rhonda, you're going to be a better coach than me. And I'd be like, don't think so. Because remember the 3 suicide attempts, the 3 DUIs and the alcoholism? I don't think so. I'm not no role model. And I would say that to him all the time. You are nutso. Nobody's going to listen to me. But he would always say that. And I was in school at the time, going through a 4-year spiritual practitioner training program, basically becoming a spiritual counselor. But I never wanted to have clients. I just was doing it for myself. And so I'm at his office one day. I'm sitting on the couch. He's standing up on the board and we're brainstorming ideas for his next program. And we're working and we're creating things. And this is the woo-woo part. To the corner on my right, the ceiling opens up. A cloud comes out. A book is on it. And the book goes like this. I'm not kidding. Just goes down on the cloud and the cloud goes back in the ceiling. And Mo, I'm like this. What just happened? And then I literally did not think it was me. You know how you're in front of a puddle and it splashes you? I just thought I got some splash on me. That wasn't for me. So I turn around to see who came in. Like, it must be for that person. And there's nobody back there. And so I'm like, what the heck? So I look at Paul over there, my client, and he's writing on the board, doing his stuff. He has no clue what just happened. And thank God, the very next day, I had an appointment with my mentor of my spiritual counseling program. And I ran in there and I'm like, okay, this thing happened. The sky opened up. The ceiling opened up, a book came out and a cloud. And, right? Like, it's like, what just happened? The download I got. So I got a download. Download was, I got the answers to every question I'd ever asked. I knew everything about everything. And I was told, now you must go teach. And so I'm telling this to my minister. And she goes, oh, you got the call. You're ready. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I left my senior year of college. I got 3 classes left. Then I got to get my master's. Then I got to get my PhD. Then I got to write a book. It's 7 to 10 years. Then I will be ready. And she just kept saying to me, you got the call. That means you're ready. And I'm like, no, you do not understand. I cannot do this. I just was like, no way. Yeah, get out of here. It's 7 to 10 years, right? But it had been planted in me, right? It had already been downloaded in me. So it started swirling around. And 6 months later, 7 months later, whatever, one of my friends, I was trying to enroll her in Paul's class. I was like, oh, we created this really cool class. Paul's a genius. You really got to take his class. And she goes, why don't you coach me? Yeah, I want you to coach me. So I was like, what the hey? I can't coach you. And she's like, yeah, I want you to be my coach. And I'm like, oh my God. So at that moment, I knew it was an intervention from God himself to get me to do it. So I started coaching her. Trust me, I would run to Paul after every session and go, she said this, I said this, she said this, I said this, she said this, I said that. What do I do now? What do I do now? And then after about 6-8 months, I was like, what to do? Never mind. I know what to do. And I started trusting that voice within me. I started trusting the knowledge I gained. I started trusting that. And the minute I started trusting it, within 1 week, I got 20 clients.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It was really like immediate.
Wow.
And then I was fully in. And I started coaching. And then after I started coaching, that same client, that evil person, that same client, a year later or 2 years later was like, hey, will you come and teach this to my work people? And I'm like, no. I'll teach you how to do it. I do one-on-one coaching. I don't teach. And so, of course, I tried to teach her how to do it and she couldn't get it. So then I said, okay, I'm coming in one time and then that's it. Don't ever ask me again. And then I had 4 people. So it's 4 little people, my little whiteboard. And I started, and about 15 minutes in, I was like, this is the best thing ever. And then, so when I teach, then it's like, I like a couple months later, I'm like, well, I'm going to teach. I got to teach workshops. I got to start speaking because I got to get people to come to my workshops. So then I start speaking. And then, of course, and the book came later after that. But I didn't want to do any of these things.
That's amazing.
30 years. It's going to be 30 years this year. Can you believe it?
Wow. What's next? What's next for you?
Well, I'm really excited because so this whole 30 years, I've been training coaches since 2000. So for the last 25 years, I've been training coaches. And I've never figured out a way how I can teach what I do to coaches that are already certified or therapists that already have their degrees, but I want to give them my tools. So this year I'm launching not 1, but 2 certifications. The first one is going to be a tool certification. And I have created 40 tools and concepts that you can personalize with your own stuff, right? And I'm giving you do-it-yourself packages. I'm going to show you exactly how to do these at workshops or as speaking events, like whatever you need to do. And you can use my material and learn the tools and concepts I use with my coaches and my clients. So that's going to be launching coming up in early summer, probably sometime this summer. And I'm super excited about that because now I'm creating something called the Fearless Coaching Alliance. So any coach, any therapist, anyone that does any of my work can now join that alliance. I love coaching coaches. So I love when a coach brings me a problem with a client. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So we'll be doing some of that coaching for the Fearless Coaching Alliance. And then the next thing I'm going to be launching probably more in the fall will be the Fearless Skills certification. So I created 8 skills that I've been teaching my coaches for 25 years, but I started teaching other coaches it just a little bit. And every time I teach it to coaches, they always go, this is a game changer. So now I have surrendered and been like, you know what? I got to get that out. So there's going to be a skills certification too. So you don't have to become a certified fearless living coach. You could just become skills certified or tool certified, depending on what your anxious is and what your interest is. And then the last thing, which is going to be launched sooner in the next couple of months, is going to be a podcast just for coaches. It is a secret podcast, and I'm going to basically share every single thing I know about coaching, coaching technique, coaching tools, coaching skills, coaching wisdom, coaching secrets, give you examples of how I coach. You're going to get it all. And it's going to be a podcast to help people become better coaches.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As we get ready to close out, how can my listeners find you?
We'll go to fearlessliving.org, and I'd love to give your listeners a free gift. It is one of my favorite tools that my clients and students love. It helps cure procrastination. It will totally cure procrastination. It will give you so much time back. You won't believe it. So go over to fearlessliving.org/risk, R-I-S-K, and you're going to put your name and your email in, and you're going to get access to the platform with this class in it. And the class is only 3 15-minute videos. It's got a workbook. It's got examples so you know how to do it. And it's basically going to show you how to make any dream happen and what's stopping you from making those dreams happen. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. And then at the end of video 3, I share the Wheel of Fear in more detail. So you'll actually see the Wheel of Fear in motion. So you'll be able to see that as well. So go over to fearlessliving.org/risk and grab that course and do it in the next 24 hours. It's only 45 minutes. Come on now, you can do it.
Great. That's great. I love that. I'm going to tap into it, by the way.
Good skill to have for your toolkit.
Lastly, any final thoughts for the audience?
And I want them to soak this into their bones. There is nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. There is nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. Beating yourself up is the number one tool uses. It spins that wheel around. It's just like oil on the wheel. So every time you beat yourself up, put yourself down and believe you are at fault or you're the one that, that's wrong or bad or whatever you say. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just fear.
There it is. Miss Rhonda Britton. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for dropping huge nuggets. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, Coach Mo. I love it. And let's help the world get fearless.
I'm going to have to bring you back.
Back, baby. Let's do it. Let's bring me back. You. Part 2.
Thank you for joining me in this episode of Let's Think About It. Your time and attention are greatly appreciated. If you found value in today's discussion, I encourage you to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Remember, the journey of self-improvement is ongoing, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. Connect with me on social media for updates and insights. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Coach Mo Coaching or LinkedIn at Maurice Mabry. Or visit my website at mauricemabry.com for exclusive content. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep growing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Remember, the most effective way to do it is to do it. Together, we're making incredible strides toward a better and more empowered you. So thank you, and I'll see you in our next episode.